everyone, my name is Danielle. Welcome to my channel if you're new and welcome back if you're returning. Today I want to take a little bit of time with you and just share my experience in dealing with my very first repair with a Louis Vuitton item that I had. And I want to tell you about how that went for me, how I went about that. So if you have something that you want to get repaired, or maybe the process seems a little bit intimidating or overwhelming, I want to share with you how I went about it and what I learned from my experience. And I also want to give you an update on a recent video I did last week where I talked about 2 items that I recently purchased from both Gucci and Louis Vuitton. In that video, I did share some misgivings and some questions I had about both items, and I want to give you an update as far as what I decided and how I went about deciding what I was going to do with both of those items. So if you like videos that focus on beauty, fashion, lifestyle, and a little bit of luxury, then you're going to love it on this channel. I'd love it if you take a minute, hit that subscribe button down below. If you haven't already, ring the bell so you never miss any videos. I do upload videos on a weekly basis because I'd love to see you back. So if you want to hear about my very first repair experience with Louis Vuitton and get an update on the recent video that I did, then keep watching. So if you haven't seen the recent video I did where I unboxed the small item from Louis Vuitton and the small item from Gucci, I will link it below and above so you can watch that if you haven't already. But if you did watch that video, then you know I unboxed a 6-ring key holder from Gucci and the key pouch from Louis Vuitton, which I do have right here. So the key pouch obviously is an item that a lot of us have, but it is a staple item in my collection. I do use it a lot. Mine had gotten really worn. I'd been using it for quite a long time, and the option to purchase another one came up and I took it because I do really like the piece. Before I share the update portion of the video and talk to you about what I decided about the items I unboxed, I want to talk about my repair that I took into Louis Vuitton and how that went, and I want to talk you through my experience with that. The reason I ordered the 6-ring key holder from Gucci was because my 6-ring key holder from Louis Vuitton broke, and I will show you a picture. Basically the snap just came completely off. I did show a picture of that in that video, and I did take some pictures that I will put on the screen now of the key holder before it went in for repair at a local Louis Vuitton store. Basically, I also had some issues with glazing and a couple pop stitches on my key holder. Now, if I wouldn't have had the issue with the snap where it was completely unusable and it didn't close, I may not have gotten the glazing issues and the pop stitches addressed in a repair, only because I use that item so much. I didn't want to be without it. So basically the reason why I ordered the 6-ring key holder from Gucci right away was because I initially called Louis Vuitton to ask about the repair. They directed me to send an inquiry online and said someone would be in touch with me, and from there I could submit pictures and write a detailed description about what I wanted done and what the issue was, and then I could send it in. And I was advised that it could take up to 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer due to COVID. And because this is an item that I was using on a daily basis and I really didn't want to be without it, I knew that I wanted another 6-ring key holder right away that I could use right away. I didn't want to have to wait a month and a half or 2 months to have access to a 6-ring key holder. I was initially going to order another 6-ring key holder from Louis Vuitton, but I decided to try a different fashion house because I was pretty upset by the fact that this had broken and I wanted to see what else was out there. But in any case, that's why I ordered the 6-ring key holder from Gucci. So getting back to the repair process. So that's what I was told over the phone. But you know, I really didn't want to wait that long. Now, I had heard from some other people that had dealt with repairs from Louis Vuitton that it was really better to take it in to a physical store if you could and have somebody look at that, and that was really my preference because I wanted to be able to show someone the pop stitches and talk about the glazing as well. And I just felt a little bit more comfortable doing that in person, and I felt like it could be potentially faster. Now, I live in an area that doesn't have a boutique really close by. The nearest boutique to me is a little over an hour away, and a bigger boutique that has a few more options is about an hour and a half away. Recently, I visited those boutiques probably now about 2 or 3 months ago. I did a video on that shopping trip. I will link that one below for you as well if you haven't seen that one. That was really fun. But I don't have a lot of experience going into boutiques. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, then you might know that I'm relatively new to collecting luxury items. I would say within the last 2.5 years is when I started, so I haven't been collecting for a really long time. And given the fact that I don't live in an area where there is a boutique nearby, I just really had never gone to a boutique before because they they are over an hour away, but I opted to take a day off work yesterday and drive to the boutique. I was not able to set up an appointment for someone to look at this repair in advance, which was my preference, but they weren't taking appointments. Now, I chose to take a day off work and go on a Tuesday morning, and I went really early in the morning. My goal was to get to the store right as they opened, because the last time I had been to this particular boutique, it was very, very busy. I went on a Saturday afternoon. I didn't get a lot of help because they were so busy, so I wanted to go at a time when I felt like it was less busy. The other thing I wanted to accomplish in this shopping trip was I was going to take my fragrance bottle in to get it engraved. I had ordered the fragrance California Dreams online, and I didn't know that engraving the bottle was an option that you could do, and I didn't find that out until I went to Louis Vuitton the first time and they told me that it was an option. So I always knew if I ever went back to the store for any reason that I wanted to take my fragrance bottle in. Now, I was told over the phone that they wouldn't engrave it for me right away, especially if they were busy. They would just take it in and mail it back to me, and I was disappointed about that because this is a fragrance I use almost every day. I love this fragrance, so highly recommend the California Dreams fragrance by Louis Vuitton. If you haven't smelled it, I love that fragrance. I did another video where I talked about this fragrance and gave a review on that, and I will put that in the description box below as well if you do want to watch that video. But in any case, that's the other thing that I wanted to do. So because I wasn't able to make an appointment, I did want to go early in the morning. Now, one thing I will say, I do think it really helped that I was able to go on a weekday earlier in the day towards the beginning of the week, because when I got there, they were not busy. I only had to wait for about 5 to 7 minutes to get into the store. There was only one person ahead of me, and I did feel like I got much better service. It wasn't rushed, and I was able to look at and ask all the questions I wanted to. They dealt with my repair right there. They looked at everything. They were able to service me right away. I was actually able to get my fragrance bottle engraved right away while I waited, which was really nice, and I do attribute that to the fact that they weren't busy at that time. I think that makes a really big difference. So I know not everybody can arrange to take off work to go shopping in a boutique, but I do think if you have a repair that you really want someone to take the time to look at, I think it's worth it to make the arrangements to try to go to a boutique during a less busy time, during a weekday, during the morning, to try and get there right away, so that an associate can really spend the time with you to look over your item carefully and really talk with you about your repair. And then a lot of times they are able to make a decision right away if they're not real busy. So what they ended up doing for me was they ended up completely just defecting out my other 6-ring key holder and offering me a brand new key holder. Now, because I had already ordered a key holder online, what they did was they said I could use that money towards a credit towards something else that I wanted. And I almost did that, but actually, believe it or not, I ended up just taking another key holder. So now I have 2 6-ring key holders from Louis Vuitton, and they are both engraved with my initials, so I won't be selling either of them. And the reason I did that was because I love this piece so much. I'm just gonna put one of them away in a drawer for when the one I'm using wears out, or maybe I'll interchange them to kind of slow the wear and tear down a little bit. I don't know yet, but I actually don't mind having 2 of the same item because I do use it so often and so much, and I love it so much. One thing I will say though that I noticed was there was a really big difference between the key holder that I got online and the one that I got in store. The one that I got in store, the canvas, is actually a lot thinner than the one I got online. One nice thing I thought about getting a replacement item in store is that they do pull out whatever inventory they have, and they let you choose the one that you want. So that's one nice thing you do get if you do take your repair in store, if they do decide to just give you a brand new item. I'll just show you this. They wrapped my item really nicely in a box with ribbon and a little card. And even though it was just a repair replacement, so it was nothing new, it was nothing that I purchased, they still took the care to box it really nicely and put it in a nice bag. And I liked that. I thought that was really, really nice. So in regards to repair, that's what I did. That's what I would recommend. I think in the future, if I do have any other items that I do need to take into repair, that's probably how I would do it. I found it to be really easy, really hassle-free. They were really helpful, really nice, and I really enjoyed the experience. Now, moving on to the update portion of this video. In the last video I did where I unboxed the item from Gucci and the key pouch, I really talked about misgivings and concerns I had with both items. I will tell you, I still do think that the 6-ring key holder from Gucci is gorgeous. I think it was a beautiful piece, but I have already sent it back. I decided not to keep it because it just wasn't functional enough for my needs. It didn't fit any cards, and I really found that to be a big major drawback. And actually, even though it was smaller than the 6-ring key holder, it was actually a lot wider and thicker. So I found when I put it in some of my mini handbags and some of my wallet on chains that it actually did take up quite a bit of room because of the width, not necessarily because of the overall size of the item. So for those reasons, I decided to send it back, and I decided just to order another 6-ring key holder from Louis Vuitton, because I do think sometimes you have to just know what you like, what really works for your lifestyle, and what works for you, and just go with that. And that's what I ended up doing. Now, in regards to the key pouch, the concern I had with this item was the fact, if you remember in my first video, the canvas on the edges wasn't completely lined up. And I don't know, it did bother me because it's not like that on my other key pouch. But I took it in the store, they looked at it, they said that that's sometimes normal. I talked to the manager actually about this, and he said when they're making these smaller leather goods, the main concern they have is making sure that the main logo, the LV logo, is centered, and that's what they really go off of. So sometimes that does happen. And he said on the key pouch specifically that it can be common to not have the canvas line up on the seams because they are more concerned with the center logo being in the center. And also, one thing that my sales associate in the store pointed out to me is, she said, you know, it's a made in France piece and we don't have any in the store. It is a relatively hard to find item, so it's up to you, but if I were you, I would keep it. So I decided I'm just gonna keep this item. I'm gonna love it. I mean, you guys, you know, it wasn't very expensive. I try not to get too overwrought or overthink some of the smaller purchases that I make, because it's not like it's a handbag or anything. And I guess I didn't really realize it's not like I've purchased this item a whole lot. This is my first purchase of this item brand new, because I think I mentioned in my other video that the other key pouch I had was pre-loved, which is why probably by now it's looking kind of disheveled and grubby, and why I wanted a new one. So I love this piece, I'm gonna keep it, and I'm just gonna not worry about the fact that the canvas on the seam isn't exactly lined up. So that's what I decided about that piece. So I did want to share with you what I ended up doing with both of those pieces that I unboxed, and let you know what my decision was and why. So that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do just want to say thank you to everybody that comments and engages on my channel. I really appreciate it. I know that I don't always get back to everyone right away. I appreciate your patience. There is a lot going on right now, as I know there is for everybody. I will get back to you and answer your comments as soon as I can. That's actually one of my most favorite things to do, and I like to do it at a time when I'm not rushed, when I can really think about how I want to respond, and I can relax while I'm doing it, because it's one of my most favorite things to do. I like to sit down with a cup of coffee and read over your comments. It really makes me feel good, and it really makes me feel happy. So I want to make sure that I do that at a time when I actually have time to do it and thoughtfully respond to everybody. So thank you so much. If you have commented, I will be answering your comments very, very soon. I will be coming out with more gift guide videos for the holidays on my channel, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see you back for those. And also follow me on Instagram if you haven't done that already, because I do Instagram live streams on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'd love to see you over on Instagram to participate in my live streams, where I just chat with you and share my week with you. And I do try to post other content on my Instagram as well. Mainly right now, it's updates as to when my new videos come out. So if you want to make sure you never miss a video, even if you are subscribed, I'd love to see you over on my Instagram. With that, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will plan to see you in my next video. And remember, beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself, and confidence is the most important accessory that you can wear.